Hello and
We got
welcome
warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
to Sister Starr.
How can Elda hate the Dark Elves when she knows so little about them?
We are in Windhelm at the tavern.
Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry?
Hotbed of racial tension here, and we are here to perhaps do something about it. Not
See you around, my beauty.
okay.
I own Hollifrost Farm outside the city. It's honest work, if a bit dull.
You know about Talos? He
Okay,
founded the
let's get
Empire.
some background. Well, maybe not.
Blessings of
Be on the
Talos be
lookout.
upon you.
The butcher
Okay.
could be around any corner.
A murderer in town. And a dark elf playing the lute.
The cruel seas have been sailors for generations. In truth, I regret not following in the footsteps of
Interesting.
my ancestors.
Well, we've exhausted those possibilities for now.
Poor Nilsine has been wrecked since her sister was killed.
Not trying to get into Talos
This
talk
here's
at the
Candleheart
tavern
Hall.
right now.
Great rooms upstairs, and there's a bed for rent on the ground floor.
Okay, so this rumor of suspicious activity around Helgen. That's the main quest. We did alternate start, live another
Let's
life,
save that
and
appetite.
that's just a way if you want to, fight the
Sure
dragons
thing.
and all that
It's yours
stuff.
for a day.
Become the Dragonborn.
I'll show you to your room.
It's just giving you a
right this
quest
way.
marker to go to Helgen. So we are going to
I'd
spend
appreciate it if you don't bother
the
my
night here.
wife, Tova. She's still in mourning. Please forgive my mood.
Okay,
I'm
not
still coming to terms with my
not
daughter's
triggering
death.
anything too interesting there. There are a series of murders in town. I'm not sure if that daughter
Let me know if
was
there's
one of
anything else
them.
you need.
I suspect she was. So here we are. We have the room, and it's been a long journey. We're going to bed early. Let the revelry continue without us. And we awaken at dawn. Celebration continues upstairs. Throughout the night.
Can't just throw the big logs on the fire. Gotta have the little bits too.
Okay, peek around. Storeroom back there. Another room for guests, I assume.
Every night, I walk around the Grey Quarter and let them
And-
grayskins know what I think of them.
Well, here we are.
You a dark elf lover? Get out of our city, you filthy piece of trash.
Yes. Why do you hate
parasites.
them so much?
They're living in our city under our protection.
So,
What do they do for us?
our
Nothing.
first encounter
The High
with
King invited them here, but he didn't ask me or
blatant,
anyone else first.
bigotry.
Maybe he should have.
So, I don't like
Don't
your
like it?
attitude.
Too bad. This is our city.
Okay, we're an outsider here. It is his city, but it's also the Dark
100
Elf's
substance say I can
city.
punch you back where you came from.
And we are about to earn 100 symptoms.
All right. Fists only.
Putting this guy in his
None of
place.
that magic stuff either. Let's go.
So, yes, we are now.
Let's see what you're made of.
Well, I guess you would say we are a social justice warrior right now. Emphasis
Enough.
on the warrior
This ends now.
part. Because we're going to punch this guy out. And, we don't particularly know the Dark Elves or even care that much about them in particular, but we are fighting for justice for all or at least the downtrodden. So this guy, of course, like all cowards do, making an excuse. Apparently, I cheated because I punched him too hard in the brawl. This is how people like that tend to think. So this is the story we've come to tell.
Now more than ever, the world needs tales of heroism.
Yes, a story of heroism and a fight for justice, fairness, awareness, and possibly some vengeance too.
Good to see you again, friend.
And again,
Good to talk to you.
this is how these people are. They do not even realize what they did wrong. So, well, at the very least, he doesn't hold a grudge, but perhaps he should, because we are filled with disgust for him and really anyone like him in this town, which there are a lot of them. He is probably the most extreme example. The situation here is actually more complicated than it would seem, as far as, you know, a straight up bigot like that. So we'll get into that as we approach it. So for now, increase our health, and I'm not even sure what else. Sneak. I think sneak would be good. We're going to need some sneak. We are going to be a stealthy archer, enchanter, wizard at times. And we definitely want to level up to the silent roll. An excellent move as you're prowling around. So that's a goal. Wind is howling here. This climate mod is kind of annoying me, but I do like the visuals of it. It's just, wow, they really overdid it with the sound. We're in the Grey Quarter. This is where the Dark Elves live. The ghetto, as you will. Random house. And here we have the corner club.
Cramped alleys, rundown buildings, few guard patrols. Even the name Grey Quarter is an insult.
Okay, so let's see what this guy has to say, I guess.
I thought the Grey Quarter would be a haven for my kind. I was wrong.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we know what it is,
divided
but
into
we'll
4
ask.
quarters. The Grey Quarter is the one that's home to all the city's dark elves. If it looks to you like an impoverished slum, that's because it is. Ulfric prefers that we live in squalor. He has nothing but disdain for anyone who isn't a Nord. He tolerates us, but that's the extent of his hospitality.
This is what I was getting at. So Ulfric and most of the Nords, they do tolerate them. They aren't as openly
For that, I thank you.
angry and discriminatory as the man in the bar.
Let me know
But
if you see anything.
it's a
you
complicated situation, because in the greater picture, the
like.
Nords
All
are
my goods
also
legitimate, which is
being
more than I can
being
say for
discriminated
some.
against. So we will get into that. Let's talk.
I've scraped this collection together by whatever means I could.
Let's talk to
I
the
do some
store owner
business
now,
with the trade caravans, and I've picked up a number
who
of items from
seems
adventurers
very
like yourself.
nervous.
A few intrepid souls even brought some items back from Morvenskar, the fort southwest of the city.
Okay, a new location perhaps?
Of course nothing in here is stolen. Only a careless,
Okay, well,
shameful,
this is
idiotic fetcher would do something as stupid
Interesting
as to buy
dialogue
Ulfric's
choice.
goods. Oh, by Azura, I've made a terrible mistake.
Okay.
I bought a gold ring, and Viola Giordano
So-
has been missing a ring that looks just like it.
There's a lot of crime in this area. And apparently a thief
You're telling me.
brought some stolen goods here, used him as a fence. He
Of course. Oh,
would
by
rather
Azura,
be
I've made a
reputable.
terrible It's not that
Okay,
easy.
sorry.
She'd go to the Jarl if she knew I was even remotely involved.
Well,
You
you're
have
just
to
a
get it
pawn
to her
shop.
some other way.
I don't see why he couldn't just
Look,
say someone
it's
brought this in
dangerous,
and
but if you sneak the ring
seems
into her
suspicious,
house,
but
Put it in a dresser or something.
then we wouldn't have a
I
quest to
will
do.
make it worth your while.
Okay, so looks like we are becoming
Some may call this junk.
some type
Me,
of
I call
reverse
them
thief,
treasures.
which might be appropriate for the theme of our character here. So let's see. This guy has complete garbage. Well, I actually wouldn't mind wearing a circlet. That would be really good for my character. Not those. We could actually afford those, but we just escaped from prison in the first episode. We're just getting on our feet, trying to find a place in society. We've come to the Dark Quarter because, you know, we're part of the underclass, you would say at this point. So, you know, we've scrounged up some gold.
Don't
we've
let Viola catch you in her house.
we've looted a bunch of stuff, but done some favors for people. But to buy, you know, circlet like that at this point would be a very, you know, a little bold at this point.
Take a seat and get the cold out.
So we visit the tavern.
I thought the Grey Quarter would be a
Okay,
haven
we've
for my kind.
already had this discussion.
I was wrong.
Apparently, some Nord women were murdered. Not sure why I should care.
Well, we do want to investigate these murders at some
Grey
point.
Things have been a lot worse around here since Ulfric took over.
So apparently
that matters to
previously
me.
things were
Until
a bit
someone
better.
takes a Dunmer, I'll let Windhelm deal with its own problems.
So they are trying to stay out of local
Well, you see where we
politics
have to
unless it
live.
involves them.
This forgotten alley. All the filth from the upper quarters flows downhill, like they say. Good luck getting one of the guards to help with anything. I tried to get Ulfric to even come down here to see the squalor, but the High Lord of his mightiness couldn't find the time.
So, you know, they're
Where
struggling.
else would we be? When the Red Mountain burned, you could scarcely breathe in Morrowind. So we came west.
So, yeah, they had to
Windhelm
flee
was the
Morrowind
first city on
altogether.
that road. And here we are. If we had known the Nords would be so unwelcoming, we may have kept walking.
Okay, so I'll just fill it. So part of the reason the Nords are unwelcoming is that the High Elves are discriminating against them. So they're maybe kind of lumping all the elves together. Well, they know the High Elves are the wealthy upper class people. You know, the Nords are more of your, you know, working class, and then we have the elves, which are, I guess you would say, the underclass. So it's a bit complicated because it's not like the Nords are, you know, they're in charge of this city, but they are definitely not in charge of Skyrim or the Empire in general. So yeah, it's a very, well, it's actually a, you know, it's the complicated situation. So we are not necessarily taking the side of the Dark Elves, but we are listening to their struggle,
You need another drink, I'll
and
be
we are
right here.
empathizing with it, and we are, well, obviously we are fighting back a little bit. We punched a guy in the face a few times, but we have our own struggles, and this is, you know, just sort of setting all of that up, I guess. Okay, let's see. Just need to set up this mod. I remembered when it rains. This mod, it does a few things, wet and cold. The thing I like about it is that you can see your breath right like that. When it's cold out, very immersive. It will make the townspeople put on hoods. Wow.
If not, let me know.
When it's raining, and
Take that
also,
thing back to Viola before we both get caught.
okay,
Oh, a bit of this.
we do need
bit
a
of
hood.
that.
So let's see if he has a hood. Well, the townspeople will put on their hoods, and also you can have it so they all go home. Well, we don't want the storekeepers out in the square to go home. And also, when I was doing my mod list, someone did mention that this, when you have them go home, it's very intensive as far as the scripts go, and could bog down your game a little bit because it's got to keep track of all those people. So it's better just to have it
Come
off.
again.
I don't necessarily want it on to begin with, so I was just double checking that. And we are going to have to make our own hood, I guess. So we did see them in the menu earlier. Didn't think we needed one. They're not very good in a fight, but we're getting wet. We're not playing Frostfall where there's going to be a penalty for getting wet, but just seems wrong to me right now to have this nice bald head out in the rain. So let us. Do you see what this lightning? Thunder is so loud. I've already turned down the volume from what I had it on, and it's still incredibly overwhelmingly loud. And the craziest part is playing on Xbox One with a controller. The controller during this whole segment is vibrating. It's not like even vibrating on and off. It's just kind of on, like a constant buzzing for several minutes. So it's pretty poorly programmed, I think, honestly. But I do like the visuals of it. So at some later point, I do turn down some of the volume in the game, but it also turns down all the sound effects. So it's not a great compromise. Okay, so here we have our hood. I kind of like it. That's not a bad look. I definitely want a different cloak at some point, but I like the hood. Circlet, maybe switch to a hood when it's bad weather. I don't know. Definitely want to come up with like an outfit that this character wears fairly often, and we'll change it as the game progresses. I'm picturing glass armor at some point. I haven't used that a lot, so that will be when we level up, though. Because, you know, even though she is part of the underclass, we don't know her backstory, and I suspect she has some, you know, she is probably some type of aristocrat or political prisoner or something along those lines. Okay, I was told not to talk to her, I think.
I try not to think of her, but sometimes.
Well, they didn't put the hood on. At least this guy didn't.
Wrecked since her sister was killed. Our little girl died recently. I've been shouldering my days with strong meat, but nothing gives my Toba peace. I've been looking for an amulet of arcade to remind my wife that our child is with the gods now, but I can't find one.
Okay, another mission. Kind of an easy one. Whenever we come across this, we can bring it to this guy. Find this stuff randomly in caves. This guy's out begging for a drink, so I guess we can give him our only beer, mead. And on that note, we will end it for this episode. Thanks for joining us on Sister Starr.